So today we're going to be giving a little bit of an update on Makayla Timpson and how she has been getting on for Prague in the Czech League and in EuroLeague. So, unfortunately, she has basically, since the arrival of Bridget Carlton, been ousted from the USK squad for EuroLeague, which is the big games. And not only that, USK were in a group where they were supposed to win and finished third. Albeit, like, the French team in that group beat Girona on the last day of the season. Like, they were good. But USK were meant to have walked this group. Girona were not meant to be as good as they were. In fairness, like, with no Chloe Bibby, Amiher, I thought, played very well. And not only did Amiher play well, you also had a situation where, like, there were players doing, like, Juste Jacite was better than we thought she was going to be. And with no Chloe Bibby, who was one of their main players from last year, I think a lot of people thought that they might struggle a bit, but they didn't. They were absolutely fantastic. And she's been playing the Czech League, and it's a tough one to talk about the Czech League because she's just 100 times, they're 100 times better than everybody else. That's a fact. In the Czech League, she's averaging 14 points per game and 70% shooting from the field in 22 minutes. But they're winning every single game by 50 points. It is the Czech League is a much lower standard than NCAA college ball. It is. It is. Like, I wish I could say it wasn't, but it is. The Czech Republic League is not a great league if we're talking about leagues overseas. There's good teams in the league. There's absolutely good teams in the league. Well, there's a good team in the league in USK. But you've also got so many weak teams, so many teams that I'm like, I don't feel like it's accurate. Like, no, it's not accurate, but it's hard to gauge how she's getting on playing against some of these teams. And look, I would love to go out there and shout out Makayla Timpson's stats and say that Makayla Timpson has been unbelievable overseas. But, like, she hasn't been. She's been okay. And she's going to come back and be a developmental player for Unrivaled. And you hope that she ends up getting some form of a run out. You hope that in Unrivaled she's able to, get hers, get an opportunity, because I do think 3v3 suits her. I think the extra space, like, genuinely, the extra space, when it's all said and done, is going to help her, because she's overall a player that is super athletic, but super raw. Like, she's 23, but is incredibly raw. And the problem is, I don't know if she's less raw. Like, I know people are going to want to say, like, she's going to get older, she's going to get better. Like, I've watched her play in EuroLeague. I don't know if she's less raw than she was a year ago. I don't know if she is less raw now than she was when she was playing at FSU. And, like, that is a concern. And I don't really care what anyone says. Like, it is a concern when a player still is this raw when they get to 23, 24. At the same time, if you are at a fever, you are protecting Makayla Timpson. There are too many flashes. There are way too many flashes, even overseas. There are flashes of things that does translate. Like, she's a good free throw shooter. Her touch is good. There are a lot of things that translate. There are a lot of things that she does on the floor that you look at and you're like, okay, we've got something to work with. She could be a future starter for this team. Feel for the game is not one of them. But at the same time, as you get older, you should improve your feel for the game. You should. So far, it's not necessarily something that we've seen from KK Timpson, which is the only concern, is that, but not everyone's improvement is linear. It could be a case where she's struggling, and then one day she just figures it out and becomes the player that everyone expects her to be. And to say that that's a possibility, like that's a possibility, like that, it's a fact that that's a possibility. Anyone who wants to say, oh, that's not going to happen, or she's good enough already, because that's false as well. If you're trying to make the argument that KK Timpson is good enough right now to play at the WNBA level, major minutes, she's not. If you're trying to make the argument as well that she never will be, I think it's a crazy argument too. I think overall, we're looking at a player right here who is going to be a project. And it's why I would be kind of concerned about drafting a Janiah Barker, because Janiah Barker is expected to be a project. She is expected to be a project player in the WNBA. And I'm like, we can't really afford to have two. And that's why I'm not that against drafting Iana Martin. Because if you draft Iana Martin, then you're able to just send her back to Spain for a year and see what happens. You're able to send her back to Spain and see what happens. Because at the end of the day, you don't know if a rookie's going to come in and do something. And if you want a rookie to play right now, I'm still on the side of you strongly consider bringing in Raven Johnson, because I think Raven Johnson's going to come in and play a role. Either way, though, I'm super excited that for KK Timpson's second year. I think it's going to be based on what a lot of people expect and the improvements people are expecting from KK Timpson. I think it's going to be a bit of a disappointment for an entire year. That being said, I think there is a good shot that KK has one or two games where she just completely breaks out. Like, she's going to have one or two games where she's going to look like one of the best players in the Fever, and it's like, how the hell have the Fever not been using her? And she's going to have a few other games where she just looks unplayably bad, which is what happened last year. That is what happened last year. There were games where she looked exceptional, and there was games where she was so bad she looked unplayable. And that's what happens with young players, especially young players that are this raw. And the difference is that in the WNBA, there's some leeway for development. Overseas, there's not. She's not playing to the standard that USK wanted in the European competition. So as soon as Bridget Carleton came in, if she was playing at a level that USK were happy, these teams are ruthless. Even if Carleton's coming in, the original plan was for her to go, they would find another point guard and send home Chen. Makayla Chen's been outplaying her. So anyway, yeah, that is the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you guys excited for KK Timpson? I think KK is going to be, I think she's going to be fine. I think it might take to year 3. It might take to year 4. I think it's going to be one of those things where she's going to have a 3-game spell where it just clicks and she'll figure it out. Because I don't think she's going to have ever the feel for the game at an elite level is ever going to be there. Which I think is probably what's going to maybe prevent her from being an all-star level player. But just with what she is doing, or what she's working with athleticism-wise, speed-wise, with her touch around the basket, I think that there's a 10-year WNBA player there. And with the way they're being paid, if she lasts 10 years in the league, she's probably making minimum 3 to 4 million. Like, that's a minimum by the end of her rookie deals, especially because she's going through another CBA. She's going to make minimum 3 to 4 million. 10-year WNBA career sets you up. Doesn't sort you for life, but it sets you up for life nowadays. But anyway, I'll see you guys.